The famous time-traveling urban legend of Billy Meier and the Plegiarans. One famous urban legend about time travel is that Billy Edward Albert Meier and the Plegiarans. Swiss-born Meier, so the legend goes, was abducted by a race of aliens called the Plegiarans who decided to take him on a journey through time. I would volunteer as tribute. That's all I'm saying. That sounds like the recipe for Doctor Who, and I want it. I want it so bad. Do you know how many days I have daydreamed about this? Anyways, going back to the story. Back in the 1970s, Meier claimed that these friendly time-traveling aliens took him to prehistoric Earth where he witnessed dinosaurs firsthand as well as the ancient surface of Mars. While on Mars, so he claimed, also introduced to J-M-M-A-N-E-U-L. Pronounce that, okay? The actual Jesus. But Meier was just relying on his fantastical tale to be believed. He even, so he claimed, had photographic evidence. I hate when people claim they have photographs, but they don't actually ever show you. That's immediately you know it's fake. They're like, oh my god, I have a CD that tells the story of the human race, but I won't show anyone, but I just want you to know that I have it. That's so BS. I hate that so much. Show people. If you have pictures, do it, man. If you're gonna tell me something fantastic, you better have proof. Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain. In 1911, Charlotte Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, who met just prior to working together at the all-female St. Hugh's College in Oxford and shared an interest in spiritualism, released a book that caused a sensation. An adventure detailed an experience they shared while visiting the Palace of Versailles in 1901. While wandering the extensive gardens around the Petit Trianon, they suddenly began encountering people dressed in 18th century outfits, LARPers, including a woman who strongly resembled Marie Antoinette. Had they encountered ghosts or slipped back in time somehow? Though they went with the latter for their book, which purported to prove their experience by researching what they'd seen with historical records, skeptics tended to believe a third option, that the authors of the book, written under pseudonyms, their true identities were revealed after their deaths, had made the whole thing up. Still, the reputation as respected academics did make other people wonder if maybe they had witnessed something way out of the ordinary. Again, same kind of deal, right? Something happens like this and you wonder, did this actually happen, and are we just too skeptical to believe it? I mean, one of the biggest tales we learned as a kid turned out to be not true, and I won't mention it just in case whoever's watching. I'm one of those people that would just love to believe in this kind of stuff, but logic says no! Like Ann Moberly and Eleanor Jourdain, Senior Royal Air Force Commander Sir Robert Victor Goddard, widely known as Victor Goddard, claimed to have experienced a time slip. In 1935, Goddard flew over what had been the RAF station Drem in Scotland on his way from Edinburgh to Andover, England. The Drem station was no longer in use. After demobilization efforts following the First World War, it had mostly been left to its own devices, and indeed, that's what Goddard said he saw as he flew over it, a largely abandoned airfield. On his return trip, though, things got weird. He followed the same route he had on the way there, but during the flight, he got waylaid by a storm. As he struggled to regain control of his plane, however, he spotted the Drem airfield through a break in the clouds, and when he got closer to it, the bad weather suddenly dissipated. But the airfield wasn't abandoned this time, it was busy, with several planes on the runway, mechanics scurrying about. Within seconds, though, the storm reappeared and Goddard had to fight to keep his plane aloft again. He made it home just fine and went on to live another 50 years, but the incident stuck with him. Indeed, in 1975, he wrote a book called Flight Towards Reality, which included discussion of the whole thing. I mean, one of the things I really love about flying and traveling is that if you go to a different place and there's like that time difference, it's almost as if you are technically time traveling, right? But it's disappointing in the sense that if somebody like Victor went through something like this, it sounds so far-fetched that we won't believe it, but you want to believe it, right? What if it was true? You know? Only he'll know. Hey everyone, it's Rachel Fisher once again back with Top 10 Central Dark. I love this. Today we have one that definitely feeds into my Doctor Who love and overall science fiction adoration. It's top 10 real-time travel stories that will shock you. So get ready. If you think time travel doesn't exist or you think it does, we'll find out on this list. So here we go. The legend of a time traveler who made a killing on the stock market. An unknown investor called Andrew Carlson managed to turn an $800 investment into $350 million by trading in high-risk stocks. Carlson, so the story goes, was arrested and later confessed he was a time traveler from the year 2256. That's a Marty McFly story if I've ever heard one. Biff, go back to your own time. Philadelphia experiment. Ooh. According to the legend, back in the early 1940s, the US Navy was able to render the destroyer US Eldridge invisible and move it. No way! By all accounts, the warship was dematerialized and transported to Philadelphia from Norfolk, Virginia, and back again. Some even claim the vessel was sent backwards in time by 10 seconds. Apparently, the experiment didn't go quite to plan, and some of the crew remained invisible thereafter. That would suck. Imagine being a part of an experiment and you're like, oh man, this sounds so cool, it'd be amazing that this actually worked, but then they're like, yeah, but you could actually end up being invisible for the rest of your life. Would you do it? Seriously, guys, would you do it? If somebody said, hey, you could be a part of an experiment that would change the world, but there is a, I don't know, 15% risk that you'll become invisible for the rest of your life, would you do it? On that risk, 15%, that's not too much. There's still an 85% chance that you won't. Rudolph Fentz. Back in the 1950s, so the story goes, a guy with mutton chop sideburns, love it, and Victorian-era duds mysteriously appeared from nowhere in the middle of Times Square. The man looked startled, according to eyewitnesses, and was eventually run over by a car and killed? Oh my god! When his body was searched, 19th century money was found as well as documents dating from 1876 that didn't appear to have aged a day. From these documents, the man's name was found, Rudolph Fentz. Attempts were made to track down his family, if he had any. Mrs. Rudolph was later tracked down, who just so happened to be the widow of Rudolph Fentz Jr., the mysterious dead man's son. Rudolph Jr., so the story goes, recalls how his father simply disappeared one day in 1876 and never returned. Shortly after, it was discovered that the urban legend originated from a 1950s short story by Jack Finney. Oh, okay, so it wasn't actually a true story, but that's still kind of cool though. I'd like to read that short story. Father Ernetti's chronovisor. Father Pellegrino, love the water, Ernetti, who was a Catholic priest like Brune, invented a machine called the chronovisor that allowed him to view the past. Ernetti was real, however the existence of the machine, or even whether he actually claimed to have invented it, have never been proven. Alas, he died in 1994, I was born that year, so we can't ask him either. Do we really want time travel to actually happen though? Do we? My question. Because who's gonna be able to handle that right? You know? I feel like a lot of shit's gonna get messed up. Paul Dienach. In 1921, a Swiss professor named Paul Dienach fell into a coma for a year after succumbing to encephalitis lethargica. For that year, he claimed he went to the year 3096, where he switched consciousnesses with a man named Andrew Northman. Andrew had gone through a serious accident in his time, had an NDE, and woke up speaking a foreign language and not recognizing his family members. That's weird. That's so strange. I don't even know what to make of that. Was it his brain's way of preserving him from trauma? Don't know. Andrew J. Basiago. Back in 2011, toe man Andrew D. Basiago and William Stillings claimed that they were former chrononauts who had worked with alleged DARPA program called Project Pegasus, original. The project, so they claimed, was conducted through the 1970s and 1980s, and the pair were chosen for a mission to Mars. Allegedly, they were to travel there using some mixture of time travel and teleportation. They also claimed to have met a young Barack Obama who was also part of the program. The claims were later officially denied by the White House. Of course they would deny them, though. Of course they would deny them. Can we really believe anything the White House says, right? They're the parents that are like, oh no, we didn't eat all the Halloween candy, no. Those were the goblins, right? But then in truth, there's actually goblins, and then you find out later, I don't know. It's all very far-fetched. John Titor claimed to be from the year 2036, but then disappeared. You took the bet. He first showed up on internet discussion boards in the late 1990s with fantastical stories and predictions of the future under the pseudonym of time_travel_0, but later changed his screen name to John Titor. Quote, food and livestock are grown locally, people spend much more time reading and talking together face to face, religion is taken seriously and everyone can multiply and divide in their heads. were but some of his illuminations of the near future. He also made some interesting claims about Y2K and believed that the 2004 Olympics would be canceled due to world conflict. However, sometime in 2001, Titor disappeared as soon as he arrived, claiming he needed to return to his own time. Well, thanks for visiting, man. That's nice of you. Anyways, guys, my name is Rachel Fisher. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, you know what to do. You know how to let us know you like us. Video. Comment, subscribe, let us know your time travel theories, or like, I don't know, your favorite TV show about time travel. Let us know what that one is. We all know what it is. We all know what it is. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher, and until next time, take care and look to the stars. Okay, we can, okay. No, stop doing that. Ugh, it's annoying. Okay. I keep forgetting what the camera is, god damn it. I don't even know. Wow, that sucks. Sucks to suck, man. When his body was that's rude. Documents dating from 1876 that didn't appear to have aged. I hate when that happens. Also introduced to Jemanuel. Also introduced to Jemanuel. I don't know how to say that. Jemanuel. To be, but Meier was just relying on his fantastical tale to be. I can't speak today. This is awful. Cool. I hope these are real. That would be awesome. Like, some of these are really, really kind of nuts, and I'm always a little curious, you know?